The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, is an impartial, neutral, and independent organization whose exclusively humanitarian mission is to protect the lives and dignity of victims of armed conflict and other situations of violence, and to provide them with assistance.
Within Africa, the continent, almost every country has its own Red Cross organization. For example, South Africa, which is one of the biggest countries in Africa, has its own Red Cross organization called the SARCS.
The SARCS, the South African Red Cross Society, dates back to 1896 with 4 doctors who had founded it. The organization itself was founded in 1921 and is also a support during both natural and man-made disasters.
Just as the former, the history of all the different branches of the Red Cross was rooted from the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Cross Crescent Societies. The IFRC was founded in 1919 in Paris in the aftermath of the World War I. The IFRC in general helps different countries in need of help, which includes Africa, helps with things such as pure water supply, blood services, first aid, disease, and health in emergencies.
The IFRC is well trained for disaster management in cases such as war or poverty, which occurs frequently in Africa. The disaster management of the organization helps the people.
It also helps migrants who flee from their home to go to a safer place, fleeing from war and the dangerous life in Africa. In cases of the illness that people needed to deal without proper medication, and when people were in need of fresh water supply, the IFRC sustained the Africans with proper medication and supplies of things desperately in need for survival.
The Red Cross in Africa had helped in devastating disasters. For example, Red Cross helped the Horn of Africa crisis by providing care for the destructive mass. Approximately 120,000 volunteers from the Red Cross Red Crescent, or the RSRS, went to the drought-stricken land, assisting them as they fight through.
In conclusion, the Red Cross organization, which is spread all around Africa, assists both the planet and themselves as different people from different places suffer from disaster, both man-made and natural. With their roots from IFRC, the different branches of the organization make a shade for the people who have gone through the pain of disaster and illness.
The ICRC has also visited Israel to occupy territories and supporting healthcare services. Throughout 2010, the ICRC continued to monitor the humanitarian, which are people who help the charity and participate to help someone who suffers with poor situation and carry on its assistance for those most in need. For medical support, the most essential material in hospital was an electricity and medicine. However, an electricity were distributed for only up to 10 hours a day. Electricity and medicine are especially essential for patients. Therefore, ICRC supported for healthcare services focusing on emergency life-saving surgery. In 2010, the ICRC supplied 242 tons of drugs and disposable to the health ministry for hospitals in Gaza, and the items were used in the emergency surgical treatment for more than 43,000 patients.
In Syria, the ICRC raised money for another independent organization called the Syrian Arab Red Crescent, or the SARC. The SARC used the donations to distribute food and essentials for the people who have been harmed during the unrest. The ICRC also is working on putting back separate families together and getting fresh drinking water to the lands of drought in the northeast. Also, they have been getting Syrians into stable political ground.
The ICRC have been upgrading water facilities in Iraq, serving 850,000 people with clean water, which lessens the chance of catching diseases and lessens the total of death. They have provided 2,000 patients in the Middle East with prostheses and have given them braces to help with orthoses. The ICRC have trained 900 health personnel to go to the Middle East to help with emergency services. The Red Cross, ME, have been let into 51 places of detention to visit detainees and help with medical affairs. The ICRC has formed an Iraq and Iran mission to recover the remains of soldiers that were killed during the war from 1980 and 1988. They have recently recovered the remains of over 103 soldiers.
%60 of Red Cross EU's national activities are health and social care services in local communities. They provide services to many groups of vulnerable people like children, older people, socially excluded people, people with illnesses and disabilities, and so on.
The Red Cross Society in Europe provides first aid training to 3 million people every year. First aid is a low-cost, safe, and simple way to save lives in an emergency. The Red Cross EU makes every person who is getting a driving license learn first aid. They also promote the learning of road safety in Europe.
Volunteers are the wealth and strength of the Red Cross EU. Many people of different ages help the Red Cross by donating money. Young people participate in events that the Red Cross EU organizes.
The Red Cross in Asia is a voluntary human organization having a network of over 700 branches, providing relief in times of disasters, emergencies, and promotes health and care of the vulnerable people and communities.
The Red Cross in Asia has been working in Iraq since 1980. They are helping the people to maintain in contact with their families, helping them have fresh water and a good caring health care. Even though they try to stop armed violence, it continues and takes the lives of innocent people.
The Red Cross' main focus in Iraq is to protect the innocent people, mainly those that are being detained by the government and the Kurdish regional authorities and the U.S. military in Iraq. Another one of the Red Cross's concerns is the public health. To help, they support the hospitals for emergency care and they regularly support the physical rehabilitation centers.
Their engineers are fixing the water supply systems because many of their natural water supplies are polluted by toxic human waste.
Japanese Red Cross.
On March 11, 2011, 2:46 in the afternoon, there was an 8.8 magnitude earthquake in the Tohoku area of Japan. The Red Cross from different countries has participated in this relief.
After the earthquake in March 11, 2011, the Japanese Red Cross has been helping the Tohoku recover from the earthquake and tsunami. The first visit was the next day, the 12th. By this time, there were more than 413 confirmed dead, 784 missing, 1,128 injured. There were a lot of houses that were destroyed by the tsunami, and 2 nuclear alerts in the power stations. By this time, over 40,000 people had evacuated, guided by the local governments.
From different parts of the world, there were different donations, not just from Red Cross, but from just individuals and famous people.
but without help from the whole Red Cross, all the Japanese army, and also the people who came from countries to help, Japan wouldn't be this far.
The Japanese Red Cross has mostly been helping Miyagi, Iwate, and Fukushima, the three most devastated areas. Some people who reach the JRCS hospital come by the helicopters. The Self-Defense Force has also helped out with supplies and finding people.